Todd Stegmiller, and I work for C&H, Case New Holland, and I went to Iowa State in 2000 through 2004.
And what's your responsibility at Case New Holland?
At Case New Holland, I'm currently a product engineer, product development engineer. I work on advanced functional design. So what that really means is, and it's specifically for combine harvesters. So I'm involved in the inner workings of the combine, the feeder, cleaning system, threshing, grain handling, trying new products, some good ideas, some bad ideas, testing them, evaluating what went well, what didn't go well, and then just kind of pushing the design, trying to come up with the improvements and efficiencies that we're looking for with our company moving forward.
So as you reflect back on your undergraduate experience, what best prepared you for your current position?
That's a tough question. What prepared me the best? For me, it's a twofold answer. There's a technical aspect. I think Iowa State was pushing the envelope. I had exposures to some technical courses that were exciting to me, that I was interested in, and were relevant to the area that I'm working in now. So there's a technical component to what we learned at Iowa State. But above that, I think what served me the best is the soft skills, being able to talk to people, being able to ask questions and relate. A lot of what I do is we develop a combine. It's a test machine. You'll go out to a farmer, and you need to relate to that person on a communication, on a one-to-one basis, and be able to talk to them as a human and a friend. And Iowa State exposed me to develop those skills. As a freshman, I was a little nervous and had a lot to learn, and it gave me a level of confidence, but also an ability to go out and do that kind of work. And in my career, that part, those skills have served me well. So they help teach me the technical things. For example, it's not always the first question you ask, but it's the conversation that leads that kind of has taught me the lessons that I needed to learn.
Mm-hmm. So I know you're reviewed on a regular basis at your company. What are the competencies that they assess you on for promotion, like to be promoted in the company?
So my role is very technical. There's two aspects they look at. They call it PLM, personal leadership management, I think. But leadership skills and technical skills are the two things that I'm evaluated on. And it's kind of a box. And as good engineers, we create a graph and Excel spreadsheets. But in reality, they challenge me to be a leader, to not just follow along and just come to my desk and sit at the computer, but to push the envelope, to ask hard questions, to challenge myself, to challenge my peers. So leadership aspect, and then a technical aspect, to look into problems and to be comfortable with the status quo. So those are typically the two things that I'm evaluating.
So we're here at the career fair, and you're behind the table looking at resumes and talking to students. So what is it you're looking for in a student that when they come up to talk to you, and what do you look for on their resume that sets them apart from others?
Yeah, well, first of all, it's not the resume. It's the, did you look me in the eye and shake my hand? It's the, is this a guy that I would be comfortable with working next to? And it's a comfort, confidence, if you will, but an honesty. I appreciate. I think there's a skill to writing a good resume, and I think that's important. But there's also people that can write a very strong resume that don't have the experience to back it up. And in our conversation, that's what I'm trying to dig into. So what I would hope is that in addition to writing a strong bullet point with a verb that means something, did you really do this? And I'm interested in, it's a one sentence line, but that may have taken you all summer to develop.
Right.
And so expanding on what you've done and learning what skills you have to offer, and making sure that those skills match what we're interested in. Because I had an example of a very strong candidate today, but he just wasn't interested in what we do, which there's nothing wrong with that. So as much as it is us or you selling me on, or the candidate selling us on them, it's us selling our company to you.
Right.
So,
Right.
does that answer your question?
Yeah,
I feel like
it does. No, that's very, very helpful. Well, I tell them in my 201 class, it really comes down to the question is, what have you done in life that someone really cares about? it's going to make an impact for a company and make them money.
Right.
And so if you can't explain what you've done and how that does relate to the company's, interests, you're not going to go anywhere.
Right.
And a lot of them, I find it interesting, those that like come from a farm. Do you come from a farm background?
I do, yes. Very
so,
small.
they say, well, I haven't had any work experience. I'm like, did you grow up in a farm? Well, yeah. Did you ever build anything? Oh, yeah, we built this. Morton, and then, did you ever work on tractors? Oh, yeah, I ripped apart. Like, you've done something. That's companies want to hear about that kind of.
Well, that is a critique I'd also throw out. Is some of them come up and shake my hand. I have ag experience. Okay, but I want to know what is it? Like, tell me about wrenching on stuff, because we have jobs that people drive a combine all summer long and they wrench on it. And 80% of the candidates that I shook hands today with have done that, but I had to ask several times to get them to, and just knowing some of it's experience, knowing what we're interested in.
Right.
And I'm impressed. Like, I would hate to be a candidate today because they're very well spoken. They've been taught what we're interested in and what we're looking for, and I would say they're very strong candidates. And it would be tough to differentiate yourself.
So at the end of the day, how do you differentiate?
Fortunately, that's not all my problem. But no, like I said, the genuineness. They call them rock star candidates, but really it's experiences. We look for a technical aptitude, but a lot of what we do is taught on the job. There's very few places you can go and get a how to thresh grain 101. It's on the job training. So we look for all those other skills and then hope to train them in the very technical, finer arts of what I do on a day-to-day basis.
So if you were to go back to college, what would you do different?
I'd try not to change anything. I had a great experience going to Iowa State. I'd probably make it last a little longer if I had to say. That would be what I would change. But on a serious note, enjoy taking away more. Like, I went to classes and learned the things and then didn't have an application for it and lost it. And I have a thirst for knowledge, and so to go back and to challenge some of the classes that I thought were monotonous at the time, I really appreciate what they were trying to teach me.
Mm-hmm.
So probably just a stronger appreciation for it's a huge investment of time and dollars, and I probably didn't appreciate that as much as I could have. I did, but I would go back and utilize that one.
Right.
So.
Hey, that's great. That's
That's excellent.
Excellent communication, Todd.